So, we'll start with the card on the bottom of the deck. And this card here is the Moon card. And the Moon card represents intuition. It represents going within, kind of reflection, meditation. It can indicate deception in some cases, and things that are hidden from you. The opposite of the Sun card. Sun card is about illumination and bringing things into knowledge. So be careful that you are spending time in reflection and meditation, but it may be the case that you are being deceived in some areas of your life. And we'll see a little bit where that's going with this card here. But generally speaking, the cards look very good. So we'll bring that back into bear. The moon can also be about symbols, rhythms, wheel of the year, also lunar cycles of 27 to 28 days. So sometimes when this card comes up on the bottom like that, it does indicate a cycle of approximately 27 days, even though our span that we mentioned at the beginning was more like 15, 16 days. Okay. Now, covering you is the home card, the 10 of Stones. 10 of Stones is the 10 of Earth in other decks. And it really is about the happy home life, the family, success in the brick and mortar world of home and house and business, job. You know, that sort of energy. It's a place where your family is happy, where they dance, they have enough to eat, they have clothes on their back, they have warmth in the cold, and they have it's cool when it's hot out, right? The shelter. We see the fruits in the trees here. We see the growth. We see all the positivity. We see the star that is guiding those who have hope in this adventure, right? We see healing. In here, we also see music and dancing and the spirit and the happiness of life. The walkway, the path that leads up to the door is winding, and that's to keep out evil spirits. There was a mythology in this pre-Celtic shamanic era that if the journey was winding, leading to the door, that the evil that would approach your front door would get lost in the curves and they would never be able to make it, but the righteous would be able to see their way through. It's also symbolic of the journey that we take in our lives, that sometimes the path really is winding in some way, that sometimes the most direct path to our goal is not a straight line, but rather it's a series of events that we have to navigate through to be able to prepare ourselves emotionally and spiritually for what we want to find waiting for us at our front door when we open it. So this is very positive, happy home life, success, beauty in your home, in your family life. Crossing you is the King of Cups energy. Cups is water. That's your Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, potentially. Now, when reading about this card, they make the statement that these animals here are a specific type of caribou known as reindeer. And reindeer, both the male and the female, have full racks of antlers like that. So this can be a man and a woman, or male and female. It could be two males or two females, depending, on your sexual orientation or your current situation. But take it as it resonates. You see here, these are equal partners in that. The King of Cups is that loving, benevolent person towards you. This is your mate. Again, the king doesn't have to be specifically masculine energy, but most definitely we see this is a home here. There is smoke from the hearth fire that's coming out of that. It's a very good balancing energy. This tells me that in your home, the adults are partners, and they're in charge of the home life, which of course creates for a safe environment for the children in that home. And this is just super positive energy for you. Finding a mate, a soulmate, and having that life partner in your home. Again, happy home life for many of you. And you deserve it. I'm very glad for you, Taurus, in that. It's our burdens are so much lighter when we have somebody to help us. We like to think that if we are going to have stress in life, it's not in our home, but it's outside of our home, and that the people in our home are helping us, to get a sense of that. And it does look like for many of you, you have a co-mate, I'm mixing my words up. You know what I'm saying, like a partner, a life partner. Crowning you is the Nine of Stones. That's tradition. Excuse me. This has to do with happy earth pursuit. This is about abundance in your earth life. Again, this ties right back here with this 10 of Stones, where you have the happiness in your life. 9 of Stones is often the single person who does it for themselves, like a business, partnership. I just said do it yourself, and then I said partnership, but you get what I mean. Like you're starting your own business, or you're making your own way in a new company or something like that. It also looks like teachers. Right? For some of you, you may be wanting to take a class that will help you in your business endeavor or help you further your business opportunity. It may be about going to school. Some of you, it may be you want to get more involved in traditional practices. For some, it could be you want to go on a shamanic journey of a sort. It could be that you want to participate in a ritual like a sweat lodge ceremony, or maybe you want to do something akin to that. For some of you, it may be that as you're trying to make decisions in your life and you're trying to make changes, that you're falling back on a traditional mindset or something that worked for you in the past and seeking your way through that by looking at what has worked in the past, what your traditions have been in that. I'm looking at this moon too, and I'm thinking that this may be maybe in a month's time or so that you're looking to do this class or this coursework or this ceremony, whatever that is for you. Or this could just be that you want to sit back with some friends and have a barbecue or a bonfire and celebrate the breaking of a lot of the super hot weather that we may have been having, depending where you live, and celebrate some of the improvements to our weather, or cooling down as we are getting towards the end of our summer and into the fall and the weather that may bring. Now, beneath you is justice. So whatever it is that you've been thinking about doing, you're making the right move here. Now, this card in a meditation can have to do with divine justice, right? Spiritual justice, right? Setting aside the ego and doing what's best for everyone. And we really do see that in these other cards here. People don't have happy home lives when they're completely unjust, unfair, dictatorial rulers in their own home. I do like to think I'm a benevolent dictator in my own house. However, this justice card has to do with right thinking, right-mindedness, whatever that is, that decision that you're making. You're doing right in that decision. It may not feel like it sometimes at the time, but stepping back, becoming dispassionate about it, but also practical minded, and you'll find your way through that. You know, seeking guidance, perhaps. This could even be like a marriage or family counselor who's helping you work with a difficult situation, maybe with one of your kids, maybe just in general, you're seeking advice or coaching in the workplace or with career moves, or the idea that you are seeking teachers or some type of schooling. Whatever it is, you're doing the right thing in that. It will propel you forward. Behind you, the Knight of Stones. This card's been coming up a lot in the last few readings. I do go in order of the zodiac. I start with whoever's got the birthday at that time, and then I sort of round the wheel of the year out as I go. But I have been seeing the Knight of Stones often. Now, again, this could be the Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, and depending on your age, if you identify in your life as a king or a queen type energy, and by that I mean king of the castle, queen of the castle, the adult in charge of your life, the Knight of Stones could be a younger person, maybe a child going off to college, or not a child, but, like a younger person in your life going off to college. It could be that you've begun a new business or a new pursuit, something like that that's going on for you. Could be, something like that, whatever it is. But something that you've begun that has a practical application, like, a business, a job, a relationship in the moving in together kind of sense, or whatever that is. That's in the past tense here. And you do have that happy home life again. And let's not forget that those wolves are pack animals. And although sometimes we do have that lone wolf energy, maybe for some of you, you've been the lone wolf, and now you're coming into your soulmate attractive energy, where you are finding a balance in a partnership with somebody who is your mate, and that's helping to bring stability and positivity into your home life. So take it as it resonates for you. Then again, for some of you, the relationship was already there, but this might be a new venture in your business life, or this could be dealing with a family member and helping them as they're dealing with challenges and issues, and having that helpmate, and dealing with the challenges and issues in your family life with a sense of fair-mindedness and justice for the best of everyone involved. The future orientation moving forward is hearth fire. This has to do with lots of passion, lots of energy. This has to do with, the word hearth and heart are related. So when you think about your heart chakra, this is a very Leo kind of card, just symbolically with the energy. So think about, or Aries or Sag for that matter. They're also very passionate fire signs. But again, this has to do with that kind of energy that's coming forward, that passion, the ability to get it done. Lots of communication coming in, lots of things going on at once, the ability and the energy to get it done and make it happen. This is really, really a good card. Especially because you've got your foundation behind you of your home and with your mate. So it's kind of like having this support coming in or in your life, getting into your groove in your home life is really helping you, because with this passion coming up, that passion is helping you have the energy to get things done and make it happen. So it's good you've got that support at home to help you. And the 9 of Arrows here, dedication. Now, Arrows is about intellect, right? It's the air sign for these. This is not negative in the sense that the 9 of Arrows can be a really anxiety-ridden card. This bow here that this individual is playing is an instrument. He's playing it as a musical instrument. This has to do with a dedication to a mindset. You've made up your mind what it is that you want to do. And then when your environment card comes in, we see this transition. This could be a physical move. It could be an intellectual transition. But whatever that is in this situation here, we see the sun is setting on the past. The moon is coming up. There's some mystery. There's something on the shore here. We don't know exactly what it is that we're piloting forth. But you can bet, because you had the justice beneath you, that whatever it is, you're making the right decision here. And you're dedicating yourself to making your move. And you're certainly going to have the energy to make it happen. So that's all very positive for you. Now, hopes and fears card. We see the 5 of Wands, and it's natural for us to fear power. 5 of Wands has to do with struggle between individuals. It has to do with maybe toxic power, in a sense, right? Here we see the snake wrapped around the pole. That's a sign of healing. Here, this one, instead of rising, it's going down. So we see an imbalance that's happening here. This should be an easy... what's that shape? Hexagon? No, hexagon's 6, but it should be like a 5 shape, whatever that's called. But anyhow, this is about fearing power struggle. And I question if maybe some of you were having a power struggle with this Knight of Stones. That this was a younger pack member in your family and you were having a power struggle with that individual. Or it could have been even that you and your King of Cups were out of balance. But we see you moving into a better sense of balance with that person, finding justice in that. And don't let your fears overrun you in that, right? If you dedicate yourself to love and to peace and to harmony, but sometimes we do have to use the bow not as a musical instrument. We do have to actually use it as a weapon to defend ourselves and to set firmly down. I do mean that symbolically, of course. I don't mean actual physical violence. Although there's the intruder, the burglar kind of situation. But you get what I mean. This is about dedicating your mindset. This is what I want. This is what I don't want. Let's set down some steps. Let's make it happen. Whatever this orientation in mind or physical move is, you're doing the right thing in it. So we already know that. Power for the sake of power is abusive. Trying to control what other people think, say, or do is inappropriate. We do to an extent to our minor children. We do have to control what they do to an extent. We can't control how they process their information or what they think about it ultimately. Sometimes we do have to set a boundary and stick with it. But know that you are in your right faculties here in doing all of that. Power struggles, a safe rule of power struggle would be don't say no until you have to say no. But when you say no, mean no, right? And then stick with it, whatever the consequences are for that. And that's sometimes a helpful guideline for people, right? Choose your battles wisely, and you're less likely to engage in a power struggle. And also, if you do have to set that boundary with somebody, you're allowed to say, I don't know, let me think about it. You're allowed to set an appointment and say, let's come back at 3:00 tomorrow and have this conversation, but not right now. Especially if you're in emotional space, stepping back and saying, I need to give vent to my emotions first, and then come back logically later on when I can make a good decision. And you're allowed to do that. We tend to get involved in power struggles when our ego is involved or when our emotions are in high drive. And then we become interested in winning and not actually solving problems and making solutions that everyone can live by. So this power, given the rest of the reading, I'm thinking this has more to do with a mental psych out that you might be playing on yourself. Don't worry about it. I really do think that you're going to be okay here. This does not look like a fair or unjust reading. It actually does look like you're doing the right thing. But you may need to step back from the situation, give yourself some space to breathe so that you understand that what you are doing, what ground rules you're setting really do make sense and that there's a reason behind them. It's, if we really want to set solid rules, think, health and safety issues. And with that as a guide, and again, dispassionately setting boundaries and rules after you've had space to process your emotions, because you're going to feel them, you're more likely to come to solutions and not second guess yourself in that. Now, your final outcome card is balance. So this is the balance, just like we were talking about here. This is the balance between logic and emotion. It's the balance between your passions and your cool, calm collectedness. It's the balance between your lunar energies over here and your solar energies over here, right? It's about the egg of potential and what you can bring forth into that world. It's about cycles. It's about rhythms, right? It's about trusting your intuitions and knowing that things are making sense for you. And we also see this balance again here with our King of Cups card, and the balance between these two reindeer and what they bring into it. We see the balance in justice. In other cards and other decks, the justice card has to do with the balancing of scales. And again, we see these elements of two that are coming into balance. So trust your wiser mind, trust your higher instincts and your higher purpose, your higher good, all those things that you're striving for on a day-to-day basis. And no, Taurus, you've really been doing a super job here. Whatever it is that you've been dealing with, you're doing a wonderful job in keeping things in check and alignment and really creating for that happy home life for you and your family and the rest. Now, we will put these cards to the side and pull an angel tarot card to see if there's any guidance or wisdom that the angels might be offering for you at this time. So, angels, please. Oh, there's one. Excellent. 3 of fire. And fire, I was going to say fire is our fire sign. That might be slightly redundant, right? I will read from the book for you. 3 of fire. Congratulations. This is your golden time of celebration and success. However, it's not the moment to rest yet. You need to keep going with the next project. So step back and review all that you've done and then create a blueprint for the future. You know what that makes me think of here? For one, this energy that's coming up, there's a reason for the energy that's coming up, but also reviewing what worked in the past. This is our tradition card that we talked about a little bit earlier, right? Reviewing what worked in the past, right? So step back and review all that you've done and then create a blueprint for the future. You need to look at things with an eye to the long term. You probably feel good about how far you've come, but no resting on your laurels. It's important to keep the fire of enthusiasm burning for the heights you might still attain. Ooh. You're getting a power surge coming in here. Patience may be required while you await results from your previous decisions. Use this time to explore the possibilities for how to promote your business or talents. Additional meanings of this card include managing people, a thriving business, self-satisfaction, seeking wise counsel, taking an important job, and business travel. Wow. So it seems that this jumper card here was quite on the money for what's going on for you in regards to your spread here, Taurus. So I really hope that this was helpful for you in trying to maybe getting some affirmation for the hard work that you've put in and the good success that you've been seeing, but also to keep that fire lit. Know that, if you're kind of in downtime right now, there's going to be greater energy to come. So be ready, because the angels are telling you there's a lot of really, really good stuff coming into your near future. You may be able to go further than you ever thought was possible in your own life. I am so excited for you.